So I'm going to show you how to vlog your boring life using the Seinfeld method. Now, the Seinfeld method is not something I've come up with. I know I love to create my methods on this channel, but this is one that I've actually borrowed and repurposed from someone else. Now, a expert marketer, digital marketer out there, he's probably worth about $500 million right by now, but his name is Russell Brunson. Now, Russell Brunson wrote a book called Dot-Com Secrets a long time ago, and in it he was talking about funnels and email marketing and all of this good stuff, which seems completely irrelevant to YouTube, right? Well, he had this concept of something he liked to call the Seinfeld method, and this was basically an email marketing follow-up sequence, so mainly for his newsletters and his sequence where he gradually wanted to build trust and connection to then be able to sell products and services to people. And the idea of this was that it was basically following the method, the sort of follow-up method and the simple method of Seinfeld. So if you don't know what Seinfeld is, it's a sort of TV sitcom that was around in the late 1980s, so 1989, so going into the sort of 90s and everything else. And it was basically a show famously about nothing. So as you can see here, how a sitcom about nothing changed television for good. And the concept of this was they didn't want anybody having big dramas or learning lessons by the end or hugging things out. It would just end. So it was a show about nothing and about these friends and their mundane daily life. So literally nothing ever happened. So the stories were always, just the friends with their day-to-day life. They used one camera, so it actually changed the way that they did filming for a while, because they literally just had one simple camera on them and then they just spoke. They just sort of spoke on topics and shared the mundane day-to-day things. So the idea of Seinfeld is literally that it's a show about nothing. It's a show about the mundane. You could take other sort of TV shows like The Office, either the UK one or the American one, and you could say that they're sort of making the mundane about The Office funny and interesting, but it's still the sort of day-to-day mundane stuff. And yes, obviously humor does add to it, but I want you to understand that mundane for most people is actually massively interesting. So if we come back to Russell Brunson's email sequence, the idea of this was that it was using short, entertaining, relatable stories. Now, I've read this book, so I don't know if this description is that good, but the method can be used to share company updates, client testimonials, or to sell products. And the concept of this was that you would pull in mundane things from your daily life that people will relate to. And I've shown you many channels that, do the mundane stuff, and they're getting hundreds of thousands or even millions of views. And this could be shopping in Walmart, shopping in Costco's, basically, doing the lawn mowing. I don't know if you've watched lawnmower videos. I've watched many of them. For some reason, I find it really relaxing. And then you've got people that are power washing the sort of driveways. Maybe they've got businesses, but maybe they're just doing it in that sort of relaxing theme, or people wanting to see things getting removed. But mundane is interesting because we can all relate to it. And I think the supermarket example is a really, really good one, because we all have to go shopping. So anything you could relate to, things of feeding the family or going into the supermarket, trying to find the deals, pushing the trolley around. You could talk about a wheel on the trolley not working properly. And it's these little mundane things that you can bring into your daily vlogs, your daily vlogs and videos, so your minimalist YouTube videos. And these are the things that you can use to then tie together. Now, I've spoken about our TOS strategy, where you have the theme of your channel, and then you have the outcome or the question that they want from watching the video answered. And then basically you want to simplify it and then use a story to help with that process. So let me show you what I mean by this. So let's say I come across and I go into ChatGPT and I say, give me a video idea about how I can use a story about forgetting to do my washing and not having clean underwear. So literally not having clean pants to wear, that relates to vlogging and planning out content. So I've tied two things together. Something about me not doing my laundry, boring, mundane, sort of, okay, who cares? And then basically something everybody can probably relate to. You forget to do your laundry, suddenly you don't have clean clothes. Very relatable, but also extremely mundane. And then I've tied it into my niche, which is vlogging, and my avatars are interested in vlogging. And maybe a problem that they have is trying to plan out their content and maybe remaining consistent with it. So then if we look at what it came up with, going into ChatGPT, it says, No clean underwear, what this taught me about vlogging and content planning. So suddenly you got an interesting video. Now I could actually just talk about the story and keep it very, very simple, like talking to camera now. Or you could follow maybe what ChatGPT suggested, which was here, it's broken down the hook for me. So it shows a clip of me rummaging through the laundry pile. Could be funny. Probably easy to record B-roll like this. Maybe me looking frustrated. And then even in that moment is where you realize that you forgot to do your laundry and now you're out of clean underwear. Yep, me too. But weirdly, this taught me a big lesson about vlogging and planning out content. Let me explain. So a fun story, and then we get into the story itself. Set the scene. So the other day I wanted to get dressed and realized I had no clean underwear. Why? Because I kept telling myself I'll do it later. Sounds familiar? Obviously, we can relate to this in creating content for vlogging, so planning out your content. This is exactly how so many people treat their YouTube content. They tell themselves, I'll film it later, or I'll post when I have time, and then suddenly they're out of ideas, out of momentum, and scrambling last minute. Just like me with my laundry. Relatable, makes sense, tied it into my niche, and this would actually probably make a really good video. So then we go down the lesson that we may learn. Obviously, you want to fill this out, but these could be good talking points for you to speak to, and then getting into maybe the importance of being consistent and planning out your content. So the importance of planning, if I just took 10 minutes to throw a load of washing in earlier, I wouldn't have been stuck. The same goes for vlogging. If you plan ahead, batch film, and have backup content, something I'm always saying, well done, ChatGPT, you'll never be scrambling with nothing to post. Excellent. Practical tip, try setting 1 day a week for content laundry. I like that. Excellent. AKA planning and filming at least one backup vlog so that you never run out of content. And then the call to action could be, have you ever found yourself in this situation with vlogging? Drop a comment below and let us know. So a very simple video about the importance of batch recording that is tied into something that is mundane. So that is how you can vlog your boring life. Just use the Seinfeld method, keep the mundane, bring it in, and then relate it to your niche and the topics that you want to talk about. So bringing in those really simple, relatable, mundane stories. So give it a try. And if you would like more in-depth training, then I will link to our community in the video description. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you inside the next one.